Hi everyone, Carol here. I want to share a project with you today. It's my first configuration box ever, and while I found it a bit challenging to work with because of the confined spaces, I did enjoy it. I learned that my stylus was a very handy tool in the process. I'm also submitting this project for Rosella's Lace Challenge. She's Zenderlee here on YouTube. And if you don't know who she is, she puts together these magnificent lace kits with a lot of matching embellishments. And she also sells a lot of bridal gown appliques. And if you don't see something that you like, you can always contact her and ask her to make a custom kit for you, which I've done in the past, and I have to say that I was never disappointed. Okay, so obviously this is a Tim Holtz configuration box, and I began by painting it with Americana Wisteria. I did apply some rock candy in areas that I knew would be exposed. The paper line that I used here is the Prima Divine paper. You also used TCW. It's the Art Is stencil. You see here the dimension here, and on both of the sides. There and there. I used tea-dye Distress ink by Tim Holtz along the edges of all the cut paper and the elements that I cut out as well, but on the raised script I used Victorian Velvet Distress ink. I also used a bit of white paint, which was the Wedding Cake by Martha Stewart, and I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick it up, but along the edges of the banner I used by Martha Stewart as well. It is the Sugar Cube glitter paint. I also used touches of baby pink folk art paint. And what I did on the outside case here is I added Webster's trim and then flat back pearl trim. So I draped the go around from the side across here to the front, to the top here. And this piece of hardware I had purchased from Fiona, who is Jennings644 on YouTube. And once again, forgive me for my breathlessness, but I'm still recovering from whatever I've had for the past 2 months here. On the outside, on the outer shell, that's probably pretty much it. Except that I didn't mention this beautiful lady over here. She's a dancer, and I'll show you in a few moments how I pretty well dedicated this whole cube here to the arts, the performing arts. I made this for a friend who doesn't know she's receiving it, and I know that she was involved in performance art at one time. I don't know if she still is. The back, I also used the paper, and I used some molding paste to create the texture here and there that you see. And of course here I will be, I just adhered it temporarily here, but I will be writing my note to my friend here. And what I did for the little legs is that I had these little wooden cubes that I picked up at some dollar store, I think, and I just glued those on with hot glue and E6000. I will be adding a tab in the package, that way if she wants to hang it she can, or she'll have the little feet to stand it on the desktop. But for now, I'll just pull this off so we could get a closer look at the inside compartments. And if if we start over here, you see the paper line back there. I love that particular sheet of paper. It's gorgeous. Now, this is a Tim Holtz bauble, and this is one of Rosella's wedding appliques in the background here. I have another one of those little cubes over here, and have three little wooden spools with, this is a Rosella lace, so is this lilac one here. And on this spool I just added some American Craft baker's twine, as well as over here on this wooden button here that I just covered with a piece of the paper. Also from the paper line I cut this tiny strip of measuring tape, and it drapes over to the next box here. Down here, self-adhesive crocheted trim, and under here is a piece of doily, and I cut a sort of a half banner from the paper line. You know how many, no matter how many times you go over it with a blast of your heat gun, you'll always find the glue strings when you're filming, right? And this metal key I had in my stash. Over to the next box here, I have a string of pearls running here, up here, into this box, and down to the bottom one here. And I have a Tim Holtz alpha card, a little chair charm, and in the corner a tiny domino with some mulberry rosettes. So that's it for that one. Down here, since we have the butterfly in the background, I also cut a butterfly from the paper line and added some Mod Podge Dimensional Magic to it, and added a pink bauble here. These two little rosettes are from trims that I had purchased from Rosella. I have a tiny pearl as a center here and a little bling on this one. Then I added, I added this little floral bouquet. It's millinery flowers that I had in my stash. And to hide the stem, I added a pen nib. And I tried the Snow Tex to add the texture here at first on the pen nib, but I found it didn't adhere to the metal really well. I don't know if it's because I've had it for years and years. I ended up wiping it off and just adding some spackle. And to it I added a touch of the Before Dawn Shimmers spray. Moving on here, this is another tiny little lace that I got from Rosella. And this is a lady with a bird cage in her hand. So I thought I'd kind of go with the bird cage theme. I added another charm here, and again added the spackle. Sprayed it a bit with pomegranate Tattered Angel spray, just to add a bit of color to the texture. Here is an Ala Prima flower with a couple of pearls and flowers here from the mulberry flowers. This trim is also from Rosella. This one, as I said before, is from my stash. And over in this compartment we have a flower trim that I had purchased from J-Zella. Tiny resin bird nest I purchased from the Piece by Piece. Just added a little purple feather bead spray here and a crown charm. So moving back over to this corner, I have another one of those bloomer trims that I purchased from J-Zella, and this is a beautiful fairy cameo that I purchased from Elizabeth, who had, when she had her shop. And over here I added some wild orchid craft roses and added a bit of gesso for texture. Added the white little stem, and a bit of texture on the bottom here as well. And this is another piece cut from the paper line with, once again, the Dimensional Magic, as well as this piece. It looks like a little lace doily, so I adhered that to the side there. There's the paper once again, very beautiful. And then in this corner I have a Tim Holtz gear, clock key, and a fleur-de-lis charm there. I try to incorporate a fleur-de-lis in most of the projects that I give away. And oh, I forgot, here in this corner is a tiny light bulb and a couple of mulberry rosettes. And again, actually that time for the texture, what I used, it's like a really puffy texture. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a foamy look. And that was using the Marvy snow marker. It's really fun to watch come to life. You just add it onto whatever piece you want and blast it with your heat gun. Here I used both the washi and the fabric tape from the Divine paper line. And so over here is a heart, iridescent heart trim that I had gotten in one of the kits from Rosella. The cameo frame here I got from the Piece by Piece clock charm that I had in the stash, as is this little wooden flower pot, and I added a tiny pebbles brad to it, a couple of pearls here, another piece of that crochet trim to make it look sort of like a little throw rug, and a couple of Wilder Craft rosettes. And here again is an image from the Divine paper line that I cut out and covered with Dimensional Magic. This is a word stick from Tim Holtz. It says Muse. Like I said, it goes with the whole, entertainment or performance art theme that I have going on here. Added a little baker's twine bow. Here I have a comedy and tragedy charm that I had in my stash. This tiny little bottle with micro beads that I also had in my stash. This tiny piece of film strip by Tim Holtz. Muse token here that says genuine, and there again I added some of the spackle. I don't know if you can see the texture on that one. Added a bit of the pomegranate spray there as well. Another little piece of doily here. This little banner from the paper line. This is one of my little seam binding little flowers that I made. So that's pretty much it. I had a ball working on this. I will definitely be making one for myself. And I hope my friend likes it. Oh, and thank you all for watching.